listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I'm the host of the LOZ Podcast and the developer of the LOZ app, which you may have seen in town. And you actually might be watching this podcast in the app as we speak. If you aren't watching it and you're listening, chances are you're listening on KRMS radio on Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. as we have a new show. I call it the Simulcast. We don't truly simulcast it, but I like the term, so I'm going to keep it. And we're kind of really excited today because I've got one of our brothers over there at KRMS with us, Kevin Burns. I call him KB. He's the host of Ozarks Today. Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hold on just a minute. I want to make sure my throat is in good.
For those of you that aren't watching it, he's just putting up one of the LOZ app live stream drinking glasses that I gave him. I love it. I love logo placement. Unsolicited. KB, you know, you're always the one doing the interviewing. You're always the one asking the questions. I'm going to turn the tables on you today. So I want to, you know, I'm always interested in the history of how people got to where they are. How did you get to the radio business? You know, what brought you into this realm and this livelihood that you've picked?
I would have to say, you know, it's a lot of it is just process of elimination. I was in high school and I was just kind of mulling around, wondering what I wanted to do with my life. So I had a communications class when I was a senior at Hazelwood Central. Shout out to all the Hawks, class of '84. One of the teachers had a local radio personality, Lance Hildebrand, come in, and he talked to the class about radio and broadcasting and what it was like, and explained his job basically to the class. And for a guy who was just kind of not really going anywhere in high school and wanted to get out and see what was out in the world, it really tripped my trigger. So I looked around St. Louis a little bit. And of course, at that particular time, there was the broadcast center. And so I went to broadcasting school, saved my mom a ton of money as opposed to 4 years of college. And she was elated. She's like, "I love you, son. I love you." And started on my journey. And one of the things they tell you about at the broadcast center is obviously, we're going to guarantee you a job. And they did. My very first job was at the now dark KFMZ in Columbia, Missouri, 98.3. And it was a weekend. And so I drove from St. Louis to Columbia every weekend to do one 9-hour shift. And it just kind of took off from there and up until the point, well, I'll say it took off and then it landed hard. I got fired from that job, which I think was a really good thing because it taught me a lot about responsibility and just, you know, doing things the way I should as opposed to the way I was doing it. And we won't get into that. I landed at the lake and it's been on ever since. I bounced around a few places, went to Sedalia, worked in the Columbia market, Jeff City market, but the Lake of the Ozarks has always been my home. And I've actually lived here longer than when I was living in St. Louis. And it's a great place to be. And 2026, October of 2026, it will be 40 years in this business. And I still haven't figured out why. But, you know, it's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of interesting people along the way. Talked to a lot of really cool people, yourself included in that. And I think what's really neat is what you're doing with the LOZ PN, LOZ Pod Network. I love it. I think it's awesome. I enjoy having you on my show to talk about all the great things you're doing. And officially,
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, you know, we kind of we played with this idea for a little bit. Then the time slot came open. We grabbed it. It's been really great. It's given us a way to kind of cross promote, to pull in the listeners that you guys have over there, the viewers that we have in the LOZ app. And we already do a collaboration. You know, we carry all the stations in the LOZ app, so you can go in at any time on any of the stations that are over there and hit one button and be listening right away. So it's a great collaboration we have going on. We wanted to make it even better, and This has really been good. And it's funny, you didn't know this, but I know Lance Hildebrand very well. Yeah, so I used to own an ad agency in St. Louis, and I used Lance for a lot of voice work for many, many years. And what a great guy. You couldn't have had a better guy talk to you about getting into the business because he is Mr. Radio.
Well, if you ever see him, Ken, you tell him thank you. Well, sort of.
Well, and you bring up a lot of good stuff because in the business of radio, you're either really up because you were just hired for a new gig, or you get fired for a gig. I mean, it's very rare there's any in between in radio. So, there's a lot of people that move to different stations. That's just the way it goes. Format
Sure,
changes,
sure.
management changes, ownership changes. And so you really have to have your head on a swivel and, create your own brand. And I think you've done that. Like you're able to bring, what you do to any genre and any station. And that's pretty valuable because and the one thing I love about you is the genuine part of, you love people, you love the lake, and you love telling stories. And that comes through every time I hear you do an interview. And a lot of times, interviews are done and you know how it is. You got to check the boxes and make sure you get everything down. But you really dig deep and you get to what makes them tick. And I really respect that.
I talk about, people coming in to do an interview, and a lot of times it's a first shot for them, and they're a little nervous. And I understand that. And so what you want to do is you just want to talk them down, make them realize and understand, hey, we're the only two people that are talking right now, even though there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people listening. But hey, look, no pressure. So, while they come in and they feel at ease and in some cases even let their guard down, the one thing you want to do is respect that. And you don't want to go too far. But again, it's just a matter of working with them and finding out some pretty incredible things about, maybe it's the county commissioner, maybe it is the mayor, maybe it is the chief of police, whoever it is, and just, having fun with them. And I think I don't have a set list of questions. Somebody says, well, you want a list of questions? Well, give me a list of things you want to talk about. We'll get it into questions. We'll get some answers and we'll have some fun. I mean, that's the best thing about doing radio since I came back. I was gone for a while and came back to KRMS. And I've just got this new re-energized attitude of let's get on the radio. Let's don't take it too seriously. And man, let's just have some fun.
Yeah, you have a great attitude. You're always out there. It's always happy. Look, I mean, I remember when you were doing Hot Summer Nights. You would go out to Hot Summer Nights and you would DJ for the whole strip during what was going on down there, and that was exciting. I thought that was fun. Right. Did you enjoy doing that?
I miss Hot Summer Nights. I really do. But it is hot. It is summer. And at the time when I weighed a little bit more, yeah, it was kind of sweaty too. Hot summer, sweaty nights. But, I didn't do it the last year or so. And I know that they kind of went in a different direction, but I do miss it. I really enjoy seeing the people because I think that's what I spent the majority of the time doing. Ken, quite frankly, was talking to people I hadn't seen in a while. Hey, how you doing? How are the kids? What's going on? How's the dog? And just, kind of catching up with some friends that decided to bring their families down. One great event, by the way, and to the folks that have been doing it for so many years, thanks. And please keep doing it because we get to see a lot of cool vehicles and a whole lot of really cool people.
Yeah, it's amazing. We actually are doing some live streaming from down there, some different events. We are the official app of the Magic Dragon car show each year, and we do a live stream from the event. It's so fun to see all the families. I love those events that go on in the strip that still involve a lot of families. You'll see people pushing strollers. You'll see grandpas and grandkids. That is so unique to the lake. It's such an interesting atmosphere on the strip. And I know it ebbs and flows throughout the years, but I really feel like there's a resurgence going on down there. A lot of stuff getting built now. They're talking about putting some parking in. It's something that is unique to the lake. And I think when people come here for, their one trip a summer, maybe they got to go to the strip. And I think that's something we should promote because it's just such a wonderful place.
I would have to agree with you 100% on that. I think the strip has always been something that a lot of people that are older now with kids at some point, maybe they came down with their parents, and the strip is just a must see whenever you come to the Lake of the Ozarks. And I think it's just an amazing place to go and see all the things that we're doing. I'm hoping that in the future, they're looking at maybe getting a little bit more family friendly locations like the old skee ball places and the bumper cars. And we've got arcade places on there, but it'd be fun to see some more. I know Tucker Shuckers and the Malted Monkey right there. They've got the place where people could climb the ropes and everything, but that's not for everybody. However, I think they've got the right idea at Tucker Shuckers and going in that direction.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're definitely going to be, doing some things down there, I think, that are really interesting. What's going to happen with, some of the new buildings going on down there, and just the atmosphere is cool. I think, we've decided we're going to do a little feature with you on the LOZ podcast network. So we'll have you on to talk, in the future about different things. I love having you on the show. I want it to be something and we may even get into food a little bit. You were both foodies, so
yeah, brother.
We do.
Now you're talking.
That could be something we do together. There's a lot of different ways to go, but I enjoy having you on the show. I appreciate you coming on, and we're going to see a lot more of you. And remember, everybody, tune in to Ozarks Today over on KRMS, 4 to 6, Monday through Friday. You can catch Kevin. He's always interviewing, doing something fun, and it's a great show to hang out. We really appreciate you jumping on the LOZ Podcast Network with us and welcoming us to the KRMS family. Bud.
Genuine pleasure. Thank you so much. And I got to tell you, man, it's great having you on board. And my new radio brother from another mother, Merry Christmas to you and all of the listeners and watchers, and keep an eye on the LOZ PN because it's red hot and it's going places, and you want to make sure that you check it out all the time. I love it. I access it all the time. And hold on, one more quick one.
Another logo. I love it. All
Love
right,
you, man.
guys, that will do it for this segment. We are going to be right back after these messages on the LOZ Podcast Network.
LOZ Podcast Network, where stories collide. Listen in the Apple Radio, side by side. Tap the icon.